Hey there, Adrienne Elise here. Welcome to the GAIA Daily for March 29th through April 2nd, coming to the end of a very powerful, tumultuous, energetically full and busy month, yet another in 2021. And so we're just coming off of this full moon energy, so powerful with its direct opposition of Venus, Chiron, Sun at 8 degrees Aries, and they stay close through this week. Now, what happened with this full moon is shining the light on deep core wounds around where you've had to give up your life force, you've had to give up your identity, you've had to give up your life itself, perhaps, in order to have what you need to survive here on Earth and be accepted, and have love. With the Libra full moon, it's a highlight on relations. Most SuperNova Souls have said, oh, forget it. That's just too much. I'll go it alone. And yet the message is that the way we fly is by coming back together. The definition of SuperNova Soul is that you've had prior experiences before coming into this Earth evolution, and you came in a pod, a group of souls you've been together with since the beginning of time, working on this project, and you're supposed to go do what you're here to do without them? No. And so we're breaking down the walls, we're breaking down the boundaries, and deep in that excavation process is the wounds of Chiron in Aries with Venus, our feminine, and the Sun. This is inviting us into a brand new Phoenix rising energy, a new personality identity for the feminine. And that's what we need in order to get to those empowered relationships and in order to fly. So know that this week is like this excavation. It's almost like all that Black Moon Lilith stuff is still kind of like, what did it mean for you? What does it mean for you? And where's the deep wounds where you around what you've had to give up in the past in order to be accepted, to be loved, to have family and community. And that was your very life force, your connection to spirit, who you really are as a soul. Part of what this whole astrology is about in this time is about breaking down personality constructs. And this is this is how you got trapped here, SuperNova Soul, is through painful past life experiences of exactly what this Chiron Venus Sun is talking to, the persecution of the feminine, which is the healer in all of us. And so whether you were in a female body or a male body and were targeted for your light in the past, and this deep feeling of rejection around, because of what's happened to you. Now, but the trap is that so what happens is that when you were targeted in a past life, you didn't get to fulfill your destiny. And this is like everything the astrology is speaking to right now, because we're still feeling that Mercury square the nodes. Mercury's about to come into this exact conjunction with Neptune, but the nodes, the triggering of the nodes, Mars on the north node exact, and that means opposing the south node in Sagittarius. And so let's just talk through the scenarios so you can understand how these patterns have happened. That you came here on this mission. This is South Node Sag energy being like, yes, I'm going to bring my light to the earth. I'm going to bring my healing. I'm going to come. Yeah. And maybe you had 1 or 2 lifetimes, if you were lucky, of actual expression of who you are as a soul. And then it got weird. And so when you weren't able, you were on your path and going to do it, and then perhaps you got targeted or killed or disrupted. This is this whole Earth evolution. This is what this astrology is bringing up. You have so much beauty and power and talent and skill and gifts inside of you. And yet this whole Earth evolution, the lower 3D matrix, it's all designed to work against you, because you're here to be on the cutting edge of spiritual ascension and move this evolution forward finally. Is it time now? This is this incredible frustrations coming up with Mars North Node and the Chiron energy of the wounds all at one time, and Mercury, Neptune. It's magic, but there's deep vulnerabilities here. And so when you weren't able to complete your mission for whatever reason, because the forces are always working against the light worker soul, because they don't want you to activate, because then you'll activate other people and then we'll be out of the trap. So then what happened was that each lifetime in each incarnation, we have a different role that we play. This is the sun in our birth chart. It's like a ray that we're working through. And so when that wasn't completed, there's unresolved stuff like, oh, I was this person, I was on my path, and so now you're still trying to work out that person, and you're a whole different person. And this is where we're actually being given an opportunity to drop all of those stories, because who you really are and what you really want, and that force that's inside of you that's been so suppressed, it's not attached to a personality construct. It's your soul essence that was purified as you came into this evolution. So this astrology is giving us an opportunity to drop all of the stories. And this is exactly the way. Now, when you read past lives, that's really interesting, because the past life, they'll come up. You'll see a pattern exactly playing out in your current life. That's why it's lit up in your field. And this is exactly what's happening. So in your life right now, what you're being shown is all of these personality constructs, so it's almost like every person in your life represents who you've tried to be throughout Earth evolution for everybody else, right? And this is this Aries strength of soul and self and power, but it's always come at a cost. If you're going to go your own way, you're going to be all alone. You're not going to have support. If you're going to be true to your soul essence, you can't fit in the earth realm, and you'll never have what you need here. Deep and profound, deep, deep, deep wounds here being excavated. And yet that's what's been holding you back from your potential. And Mars North Node exact today and yesterday, and we'll be feeling that the effect of that goes almost to the middle of April. And so maybe this next chapter we're looking at here. I think it pretty much goes right to that Aries full moon. New moon. And so Mars North Node and opposite the South Node is like, get back on your horse. You got so much inside of you, and the world is waiting for your voice and your message. Not to put the pressure on, but it's like the pressure you've been feeling is about taking off the constructs, the chains of the past. And so you can come into that full soul essence and feel worthy of what's inside of you, to recognize what's inside of you. The world's told you it's worth nothing. It doesn't matter. It's actually wrong and bad and something that needs to be snuffed out, like some sort of annoying problem. You are the solution. And enough is enough. This Aries Chiron is like pulling the SuperNova Souls out of the gutter, saying, look, right? Like, your problem is that you've been playing the game and you bought into it and you conceded your power. You did it. We did it. It's been taken from us. Everything's worked against us. But the other thing that's happening is Mercury coming up to exact conjunction with Neptune tomorrow. And this is about conceptual reality, creating a dream, stepping out of the delusion, especially after that Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. It's like, okay, this is how we get out of those old stories of the Piscean age. And dream, create, claim back your world in each moment. And it takes some excavation, and this is this point where how you're like, I've been doing so much work and like so much healing and like so much facing and of the shadow. And is it ever, are we ever going to get anywhere? And part of that is because SuperNova Soul, you've been cleansing and processing the shadow for the whole, for the collective. And that's where the shift for SuperNova Souls from the Pisces energy to the Aquarius, age of Aquarius, is like totally no more self-sacrifice, right? We just cut ourselves into pieces to fit in, to try to help, to just survive. And now it's time to step out of the trap. And this Mercury, it's interesting because it's like one aspect of astrology, and this is where the pitfall of astrology, right? We could talk just about this one thing, Mercury conjunct Neptune, but it doesn't mean what it means without taking into account Mars exact on the North Node and Venus, Chiron, Sun. So it's all pushing us into claiming back our power, our life force, no more disgracing the precious spiritual gifts, intuitive healing gifts, what's right and good and true, the compassion, the love, the empathy. No more. We're not going to demonize that shit. And we're going to stand up and take back our destiny. Mars North Node is destiny is calling, and recognizing maybe you've gone through so much that you had to, in order to survive, disconnect so much from your own power, almost those vows of secrecy to hide that secret spiritual essence within you, to the point where you don't even believe you have it anymore. Except, what's your problem? Why don't you fit in? Why are you so burdened? Why are you so affected, right? The only thing that makes sense is that you have this bigger evolved spiritual self that you had to disconnect from in order to survive through this evolution. And now it's time for that shit to land home. And it's not a personality construct, it's your soul essence gifts, right? So our personality construct, the role we've played, which is make us trapped into the past patterns, right? Because they were interrupted. And that changes every incarnation. But our soul gifts go with us. Do you see? Everything's been trying to keep you from that. It is so beautiful. And we need you. And it's time to go supernova, is what this astrology is saying, because it's like, Mars North Node is impatient. Let's go. Enough of this bullshit. Girl, I'm not playing those games. I'm not going to stay in this emotional yo-yo bullshit. Stand the F up. Let's do this, right? And then Mercury. So all of our personal planets, empowered. And Mercury, Neptune says, step through. Is it time already? Claim your world, because everything that's been hidden from you of all those beautiful, precious soul gifts are about your ability as a co-creator. And so it's excruciating and freeing, but the chains are breaking, and we're being asked to just drop all of the stories. And it's hard because it's like, but I've just dedicated myself to this for lifetimes, and I'm attached to this idea of how right? And it's just like, Chiron, Venus, Sun is ego death to that feminine that thought she was going to save the world, as a way to redeem herself. And now we have to just redeem the self back to the God self and lay down the battle, lay down the weapons, lay down the wounds, the scars, and be in the glory of the presence of the I am, the whole point of why we even bothered here. And you have it. You have got it. And it's been your whole problem. And now it's why we celebrate you. And you will be celebrated. You are celebrated. Tap into the legions of light that are celebrating you, that haven't been able to get through because you've been stuck in the constructs of the matrix, trap, prison, paradigm, but game over. So Mercury, Neptune tomorrow, create your world, step through. We don't have time. Time is dissolving. Our constructs are dissolving, and all we have, like all our personality constructs dissolving, all we have is this soul essence. And maybe that's what this is about for the supernova soul. Dig deeper. Be true. And, it's interesting because in the teachings of non-duality and the true self, the Eastern teachings, there's this energy of like, get rid of the mind, get rid of the ego, get rid of the personality. But the creator energy of what we're all, and we are all a part of the creator, right? We're all a facet. Like physics has shown us this. And Creator has a beautiful personality to celebrate. We all have a facet of this beautiful God personality. It's not the personality like the ego construct, or the way, it's not quite the right word. But there's not, this is a huge message coming off this Libra full moon on multiple levels. There's nothing you have to give up anymore. You don't have to give up who you are in order to have love. You don't have to give up your life force in order to survive. You don't have to pretend you're something different in order to fit in. So claim your world, step through, and be open to the messages. We have a few more days left of the exact semi-sextile minor transit, but it's that magic key to the door. Like Mercury and Neptune cracking open the little, using the power of imagination to step out of the nightmare and into the dream. And this Uranus at exactly 8 degrees in semi-sextile to Chiron, we're going to feel this through the end of the month, the next few days. And it's really a powerful key at 8 degrees. And it's saying that it's your individuality that can release you from the chains, right? It's also maybe your personality traps you. The old personality constructs has trapped you, but you're into who you really are. Your unique soul, spiritual gifts, your unique faceted expression of God consciousness is how you open the door. But it's hidden under all those wounds. Make sure you never, ever go there. It's hidden under the rubble of the Atlantean age. Your lifetime there where you were so excited to be on the earth doing what you're doing, fully supported in this amazing cutting edge scientific research, and then bam, knocked down, blamed, said, oh, you were going to access your power, cause catastrophe, just to make sure for thousands of years you don't ever go anywhere near that. And we've been shown in the activations and soul group sessions again and again that the spiritual activation energy is actually stabilizing. It's stabilizing, it's harmonizing. Get out from under the rubble of your life. And maybe the rubble has to kind of get heavier first, right? Until we give ourselves full permission. And that's this weird juxtaposition, because North Node is like, get the F up out of it, let's go. And then Chiron and Aries, And so incredibly powerful astrology. It just continues the saga. April is very different. What's happening today actually is a shift into the April energy, because today Saturn, the North Node is moved to 12 degrees, is moving to 12 degrees. North Node moves backwards. So it's been at 13 in that square with Mercury. And then Saturn is moving to 11 degrees, which puts these in trine, in more exact trine. And that's the backdrop, beautiful gift energy of April, is North Node in a huge activation with Mars going over the North Node, and then in trine to Saturn in Aquarius. And it's the air, it's the light, it's the vibration, it's the new possibilities, it's the wider perspective, it's communication, it's the voice, it's empowerment. And that is what's going to get us into the Aquarian age. That's the paradigm of the Aquarian age. Personal empowerment, there's nothing to give up. Let's see you shine. What would our world look like? Think of all this potential inside of you. That as I talk about it, you're probably going, oh, really? Is that me? Kind of anxiety, right? But think about that and all SuperNova souls, all these bright light souls on the planet that don't even know. And it's interesting because I've often seen in the picture of SuperNova souls coming to the earth in their incarnations and the times that you've incarnated at very specific times through this evolution to be a part of this project that you're working on now too. Darkest times, but I often see this picture of like a comet, right? Like coming to the earth and dropping off these souls in their groups and their pods. It's almost like the comet's coming back because there's a piece that you couldn't embody before now. It's similar to stories in a way of like a walk-in soul. It's not really, because who you have been is true to who you are. It's not that you're getting a different soul is exchange. That's what a walk-in is. But this is a merging with your true essence that couldn't be here because the earth energies couldn't support you in your full. And are you ready for that comet to land into your life? It's going to feel better. You're going to feel more whole and complete. You're going to feel direction. You're going to be able to find your people. You're going to be excited about the projects that lay ahead. Um, and again, it goes back to all this excavation of the divine, of the feminine, and the wounds of the feminine, and that Black Moon Lilith energy of, can you get out from under the rubble? Can you get out from under the shame and feel that you deserve your own abundance? It's yours. So it's almost like the way that, say, US taxpayers have been footing the bill for dark, evil deeds around the earth, And it's like, are you going to continue to use your capital for the shadow work? Are you going to invest in that shadow company? And that's how we choose every day, every moment to say, yeah, I'm not going there. Yeah, I'm not going to put my energy there. I'm not going to put my attention there. They're trying to suck me back into those stories. It's not who I am. This is so powerful, the Aries. I am. Because that's your soul essence, these beautiful, beautiful gifts. And your abundance. And are we going to continue to let our abundance be stolen from us and used to hold humanity in prison? So, potent and powerful times. The saga continues. And thank you so much for being with me. Thanks for joining that Libra full moon activation. You can always go back and get the replay if you feel called. A beautiful journey, activation of the divine feminine, divine masculine, introduction to new earth energies. And when we join together in our consciousness and our deliberate intention in these events, it's so powerful what we do together. So I'm so honored to be here and on the planet with you, amazing souls. Let's stay connected. The future is bright. Let's claim our world together. So I look forward to seeing you soon on the next update. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.